You don't meet our expectations. Don't even think about being part of our family. The main thing is, you're not right for my son. Now, go away." That's how harshly my father-in-law spoke to me. My mother-in-law also joined in. "You would have tried to get money from Alex anyway." "My name is Kate. I'm 34 years old and work for a company. I've been with the same company since I graduated from university. Some of my coworkers have left to start their own businesses, get married, or have kids, but I've stayed and focused on my job. You might think I'm just a lonely workaholic, but I'm not. I have a boyfriend named Alex. He used to be a business partner. I saw him as a nice, hardworking guy. As we worked together more, we started to connect. He told me he had feelings for me, and we began dating. We've been dating for a few years now and are even engaged, but I do have some concerns about marrying him. He's younger than I am, and I worry about whether he's okay with the age difference. Even though he says age doesn't matter, his father owns a business, and Alex works there. He's going to take over the company one day, and I'm worried his parents might not approve of our marriage. I've been uneasy about this for a while. I was thrilled when he proposed, but I still wonder if we can really get married. Alex seems fine with it, and his positive attitude is one of the reasons I like him. He's met my parents, and we often have nice dinners together. My parents are happy about the marriage and like Alex a lot. The day finally came to visit Alex's parents. I had been so nervous about it for weeks. Their house was just as impressive as I expected for the president of a company. It was a huge mansion that looked like a royal palace. Right away, I started worrying about whether my clothes were suitable for this place. I had dressed up nicely for the visit, but I wasn't sure if it was enough. I come from a regular family, and Alex's house was a whole different world. He often took me to fancy restaurants and stayed in expensive hotels on vacation. He thinks that's normal, but it sometimes felt like he was from a different world. Still, he never made me feel bad about it or showed off his wealth. I don't judge people based on their money. I fell in love with Alex because of his personality and how he treats others. At first, I wondered why he was interested in an older woman like me, but his kind words made me feel that he truly values me for who I am. Because we love each other deeply, we're getting married. I think he's a great guy, so I really hope his parents will approve. Don't worry, babe. I've already told my parents about you. He tried to reassure me. Then, his mother opened the front door and greeted us. "Welcome. You must be Kate." "Yes, I'm Kate. Nice to meet you." His mother gave me a quick nod and let us in. The living room was huge. Alex's father was sitting on a big, fancy sofa, waiting for us. I felt nervous all of a sudden. Meeting his mother had already made me nervous, but his father was even more intimidating, as you'd expect from a company president. "It's a pleasure to finally meet you. My name is Kate. Thank you for having me." My voice was shaking. Alex looked at me and smiled. "Don't be so nervous." But his parents didn't smile and stared at me coldly. I felt tense. "Please, sit down," his father said, pointing to the sofa. It felt like a job interview. "Well, no." "Excuse me?" his father said as soon as I sat down. His mother agreed with him. "Hey, Mom, Dad, what are you doing?" Alex asked. "What do you mean no? It's rude to say that," Alex added, trying to defend me, but his parents weren't listening. "How old are you? You seem pretty old to me," his father asked. "I'm 34. Goodness, she's 6 years older than Alex. How can we accept him marrying someone older?" his mother said. "And it's probably too late for you to have children. We need someone who can give us grandchildren, and it should be a younger woman, at least younger than Alex." I knew they would bring up my age. And you're still single at your age? I can't help but think there's something wrong with you. Maybe you're difficult or have a bad personality, his mother said. Mom, what are you saying? Kate is a wonderful person with a great personality, Alex said. Then why hasn't she been married before? His mother asked sharply. Excuse me? I know I'm a bit older, but I love my job and have always focused on work instead of marriage. I didn't get married before because I was dedicated to my career. It wasn't until I met Alex that I realized I wanted to get married. I felt overwhelmed by the pressure from his parents. I tried to explain myself, but they didn't change their attitude at all. You don't work that hard. The company you work for isn't very big. Even if you work hard and get promoted, you probably don't make much money. You should focus on improving your appearance. Maybe some plastic surgery could help, even at your age. Honey, that's too blunt. That was the first time I saw his parents laugh, but they were just making fun of us. I was so shocked and angry that I didn't know what to say. You thought you could marry my son? Your standards don't fit ours. Don't even think about joining our family. You're not the right person for him. Now, leave. That's how coldly my father-in-law spoke to me. My mother-in-law joined in too. You must have been after Alex's money. I don't know how you convinced my son, but you can't fool us. That's enough. You can say whatever you want, but I'm the one who will decide who I marry. Alex tried to defend me, but I stopped him. I see. I understand how you feel, but it's very rude to say such awful things to me when we've just met. I don't care if you're rich or not. That's not important to me, but if I were to become rich, I definitely wouldn't want to be like you. I said that and got up to leave. I didn't want to talk anymore, so I walked out of his parents' house. You've got to be kidding. Don't you dare insult us. You beggar. We will never let you marry our son. I don't want to be connected to people like you. His father shouted at me, "You're disgraceful. I'd love to see the parents who raised someone like you." You thought you could marry my son?
He ignored him and left. My parents were inside, but their behavior was too much for me. He walked outside, frustrated, and Alex ran after me in a panic. Kat, I'm really sorry. He never thought my parents would say something like that. It was terrible, but maybe it's for the best. It would have been even harder to marry under those conditions. eBay decided to leave them and quit the company. I'm not taking over my dad's business. You shouldn't they make such a big decision quickly. I'm not rushing it. He really love you, Kate. We didn't they get together for money, so leaving the house shouldn't they be a problem. That's true, but let's go back to your parents and tell them what's happening. He took my hand and we started walking. My parents were surprised by our sudden visit, but they welcomed us warmly. Obertea. We explained what had happened. My father listened without saying a word. Alex, your father's company is called Space C, right? And his name is Patrick Smith? Yes, that's right. Why do you ask? I thought so. Let's go to your parents' house now. Dad, what's going on? They said they wanted to see her face. Right, well, let's show it to them. He was surprised because my father isn't easily provoked, but since he was ready to go, we had no choice. We ended up going back to Alice's parents' house. This time, Alice's father answered the door, not his mother. You again? He won't forgive you no matter how many times you come back. Do you know who you're talking to, Patrick? My father-in-law looked at my father, squinting, and then it seemed like he finally recognized him. Mr. Anderson, is that you? Yes, I'm her father. So you're the father of my daughter? That's right, she's my only daughter, and we had her later in life. How dare you insult her? Have you forgotten what I did for you over the years? When you were arrested for smoking, drinking, and even shoplifting, he covered for you and gave you a chance to turn things around. He did everything I could to help you get a decent job. Didn't I teach you that we all need to support each other? And now that your company is successful, you've forgotten all that, haven't you? Ha! I'm sorry about what happened. Alice's father was now much softer and different from before. If you're going to be a company president, you need to treat people kindly. Just because you're successful doesn't mean you're better than others. Don't you think you're looking down on people? Well, that's. It seemed like he understood the point being made. Oh, in that case. My boss always says he feels stressed and has stomach problems. Are you making things hard for him? What are you talking about? I'm just pushing him because I expect more from him. Father-in-law was starting to lose his composure. Just when I thought Jude finally changed. You're reacting like your old self again. You're really a pain. Patrick. Fierce. You need to apologize to my daughter before insulting her. Yes. I'm sorry, Kate. He bowed his head to me, following my father's demand. It seemed like the old power dynamics from when we were students were still affecting him. Honey, you should apologize too, mother-in-law said as she also bowed her head. He was relieved that his parents apologized to me. I'm leaving this house and quitting the company. At that point, Alex told his parents, and they looked panicked. Wait a minute, if you leave, who's going to take over? Your father is right, you're the only one left. I'm tired of being controlled. I'm going to start my own company and see how far I can get on my own. And I'm marrying Kate as I promised. Thanks for everything. Alex bowed to say goodbye to his parents. They looked shocked and pale. But we left anyway. My father had been a high school teacher until he retired. I didn't know that Alice's father was one of his students. He looked up the company Alex works for online. And I saw Patrick's picture. At first, he was happy to see that one of my father's students had done well. However, it's easy to be blinded by e-money and forget what's important. My father was a very dedicated teacher and always strict about these things. After a while, Alex left his job and started his own business. He supported him while I kept working. Alex turned out to be great at running a business, and his company began to make a profit quickly. We got married and are happily supporting each other every day. As for my father-in-law, he was sued by some of his employees for being abusive. This led to a drop in the company's stock price, and he was removed from his position as president. This experience showed me that being humble and kind is very important, no matter how successful you are. My father is my role model. He will always value his lessons and try to live with dignity. If you like this, please subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.